Hello. The next in the spiritual series. We talked about surrender yesterday. And today, once you get in that rhythm of surrender, something really fun happens. But what it requires is you have to be super aware. And I know in this crazy world that we live in, what I'm about to tell you is going to be something that may be a challenge for you. You've got to slow down your pace a little bit. You have to be intentional. You have to look around. You have to be aware. And just really perceptive of what's going on. You have to, when something occurs in your life, don't just experience it and just go. Just think, wow. And I like to say, go back and look at the breadcrumbs. Just go back and look at, I wonder. Like me ending up here in North Carolina, right? Goes all the way back to, I had never even thought about going to North Carolina. And what precipitated it was when I owned Wine Styles, we said we're going to get into craft beer, so we came here for a convention. So if I would not have purchased and opened a Wine Style store, I wouldn't have been here. And you can just keep tracing it back. And then all the things, all the blessings that have happened since I've been here. Right? It all ties together. And it's because I've surrendered everything to God. I remember when I was first going to move here and friends were like, okay, is it for business that you're going? I'm like, nope. Do you know anybody there? I'm like, nope. And then one of my friends said, it's Bob. Yeah, it's because of surrender. It's Holy Spirit guided me here. And then all the things that have happened that have been just amazing, right? It's because I've surrendered. Back to what we talked about yesterday. And today's topic is momentum. Okay, once you've totally surrendered, you'll know if you're still holding on to anything. Because if you're trying to control anything in your life, anything. If you say I, that's the first tip. If you're saying, yep, I have to do this, or I feel like I should be doing I, right? That's always the first tip. Now, using I doesn't lead you to something you haven't surrendered, but it's a good place to start to look into. If you're thinking about I and my plans, and I'm going to retire at this age, and I'm going to live that life, that's fine. You can do it. I did that. I lived that life. It's exhausting at some point. It's exhausting. But if you surrender, and then you start to see because you're aware, and you're looking out for how God's working, and you pay attention to those God winks, all of a sudden momentum starts. And I could tell you again countless stories of that in my life. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and God works hugely in your life. I think in the beginning. That's why I was fortunate that I found God late in life, because it had such an impact on me. And the things he did early on, after I, gave my life to Christ, I knew it had to be God just saying, Bob, you're on the right path. And I guarantee you that'll happen in your life too. As you surrender the things that you're holding on to the most, He's going to show you in the only way God can show you that you're on the right path. I can tell you financial stories where, I gave a big sum of money to my previous church in Nebraska, and my financial dude, Ed, I love him. He's trying to talk me off the ledge, right? And when it came time to write the check, he's laughing. And he goes, "I can't believe this." I'm like, "What?" And he just keeps laughing. I'm like, "Dude, what are you laughing at?" He says, "Never seen this before in my life, but when you said you wanted to give that much money, your account has grown exactly that amount since you made that declaration and when you're calling me now." That's God. That's God showing, Bob, you're on the right path. That's what it's all about. That happened. That is fact. So, you guys, it can happen. Those kind of things will happen for you, but you have to totally surrender. You have to walk by faith, not by sight. You can't let this world determine what you should do. You've got the Holy Spirit in you. Let me repeat that. You have the Holy Spirit in you. All the answers are within. So let's jump on that momentum train. Wherever you're at in your surrender journey, I want you to really be honest with yourself and really spend some time in solitude. That's a great assignment. Take 30 minutes, quiet, peaceful, and just say, all right, what haven't I surrendered to God? And start surrendering in those areas. And I guarantee you, God's going to show you, the only way God can show you that you're on the right path. And you're going to start riding that momentum. And once you start riding that momentum, it just keeps going like this. Better, 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 better. And no matter, it doesn't mean your life's going to be perfect. There are going to be circumstances that I'm going to face. But guess what? I'm ready for any circumstance because I know God has got me. And I know He loves me and I love Him. And we've got that kind of relationship. And He will work all things together for good for those who love Him and follow His plan. That's the key. Following His plan involves surrender. It's not your plan anymore. You can make plans. I make plans. Yes, I make plans. I'm very anal about that. I make plans. But when they get shifted or changed, I thank God because I know that's Him coming in and shifting them for me. So I'm excited when He does that because He expects me to make plans and go. But I also have to know that when He intervenes, I'm all in with Him. It's not about me at all. All right, you guys, that is surrender. We'll be back tomorrow with some more.